Okay, for more on what we can expect from the state capture inquiry, we join now in the studio by our colleague, it's reporter Michael Appel, who's also been watching the proceedings. Michael, some can say, well, the big week is here, big day is here. After over 130 days, I think, of the commission since August last year, Mr. Jacob Zuma has been implicated in all kinds of testimony. At least 5 people have implicated him. Do you think he's likely to have a tough time?
He's going to have a tough time, and he's going to make it difficult for the Commission, I suspect. If you read all the headlines, if you listen to the tone of his lawyer's letter, Daniel Muncher's letter, they have already set up how they could potentially approach this, saying that this inquiry has unfairly singled him out, that it has driven some sort of a political agenda against him, that there are people pulling the strings behind the inquiry. So he's already painting it as something that has a predetermined outcome and judgment against him. So I don't think he's going to make it easy for them, and I think they've got some tough questions for him. Okay,
the whole week has been set for former President Jacob Zuma's testimony, and judging by what I've seen before, most of the time their lawyers are the ones who are there ahead. When are we likely to see him on the stand? Do you think it'll be today, or we'll have to wait a couple of days?
So generally how it works is you are called to testify. Your legal counsel is welcome to sit in the benches adjacent to the witness stand, and if there's something where they feel your rights are being prejudiced, then they object and they come to the front and they tell the chairperson why they feel their client's rights are being prejudiced in any way. But for the majority of the time, it is the witness and the witness alone who is asked to testify through the chairperson. Just on Friday, we saw how numerous interjections by legal counsel saw the Deputy Chief Justice getting actually very annoyed and said to attorney Andre Pinar, just sit down. Your client is comfortable answering these questions. Stop interjecting. Let the commission flow. So he's big on that. The witness must testify. If they do not want to testify, they're welcome to give a statement. Jacob Zuma has not given a statement, anything on paper, so he has to testify.
Okay, he asked the commission last month to give him some questions. The commission said, no ways, you come here. Has there been a bit of a risk there? I'm saying this because in Govan Whittle's report that we just played for our viewers now on ENCA, he mentioned that there will be maybe more busasas coming out. Sounds like he's going to say, I'm going to say my piece and I'm going to tell everything. There's kind of an underlying kind of threat there.
It's very difficult to read exactly what the former president means when he says some of these things. But as we've heard from Batabile Dlamini in the past, Smolinyana skeletons in everybody's closet. And that, I think, is what he's hinting at when he says those who have called me here may just need to be careful because they may be outed themselves. Those that have implicated him in wrongdoing, we're talking Nwako Ramachlodi, Barbara Hogan, Temba Maseko, Fakey Mentor, Rajesh Sundaram is one of those.
Nwako Ramachlodi was there as well, he spoke.
Yes, he was. He says he's been fired twice for not being pliable to the whims of the Guptas. In May 2014, he was fired allegedly, he says, because he refused to assist the Guptas to buy Optimum coal. Who comes and replaces him? None other than Mosebenzi Zwane, and guess what happens? The Guptas buy Optimum coal.
Overall, the importance of the former president testifying at the Zondo Commission, I think everybody agrees, cannot be underestimated.
No.
But when you go to some of what he's been saying and how he's been interacting, like on social media yesterday, he posted a clip of himself where he's sort of making fun of Zuma must fall kind of thing, and he's laughing about it. He put it in his timeline saying, I want to put a smile on your face. Yeah. And we know, ironically, he signed this commission of inquiry into being when he was in his last days of his presidency.
Yes.
Does it come across that he's taking it seriously?
It's a bit of a farce, to be honest. And I'm not sure how today is going to play out. But what he's been putting on Twitter, almost taunting the commission in a sense, taunting those that have made incredibly serious allegations against him. He still believes state capture is a non-issue, that it doesn't really exist. What have I done is Jacob Zuma's favorite question in this whole saga.
His supporters are expected, we are told, in their thousands around Parktown. There's a venue of the Zondo Commission of Inquiry.
Yes, so we've seen the troop that follows Jacob Zuma whenever he is appearing in court, whether it be criminal or civil. You've got the radical economic transformation champions. You've got the Black First, Land First group that are going to be following him. Just an interesting note to all of those who are thinking of going. In any party or political slogan regalia, you're not allowed inside the venue. You will be ejected.
And there's a strict accreditation process to which you must also go now to get your accreditation so you can access the venue later on.
Yes, that's right. Space for 100 journalists, space for 200 members of the public. First come, first serve. See you there.
Thank you very much, Michael Apple.
Thanks,
on his way to the Zondo Commission of Inquiry party that's kicking off later this morning. A big week for it in terms of the man who's supposed to be testifying there, the former president, Jacob Zuma.